I'm also pleased to mention that the Maritime Union of India has already booked 100 copies of the Samudrayan. I think there'll be at least one left for me, Captain Dalvi. At least one I can take. Okay. Now I want to just ask and request Captain Datar to come here on stage. Before he comes, a very short profile. For the non-shipping people, I mean, how many of you are non-shipping here, if I can just... okay, quite a lot. Now, I just take some time off, because if I don't say this, you will not understand. The relationship between a chief officer and a cadet. Now, Captain Datar was chief officer, and his first chief officer, in fact, Captain Dalvi's first chief officer. And since the book is, the borders of the book are written on the time that he is spending as a cadet, the relationship between a chief officer and a cadet, you just can't write down. You know, I cannot tell you any incidents which can give you an example of how the relationship turns out to be. If a chief officer tells a cadet go and eat, he has to go and eat even if he's not hungry. If a chief officer tells a cadet go and sleep, he has to sleep even if he's not sleepy. But then, you know, it's not torture, but then that's how the way it is. If he goes to eat, I mean, that's another thing, that he'll go down and steal a beer from his cabin and then go to eat. But he has to do it. But then it is a beautiful relationship. It's like a mentor and a mentee. It's like a teacher. We'll be celebrating Teachers Day tomorrow. And on this note, I think this is the right time when we can hear him speak. It's the amalgamation of all kinds of relationship between a teacher and a student and a guru and a shishya put into one, and that evolves and gives us the relationship between a chief officer and a cadet. When Captain Vaibhav Dalvi joined his first ship in Varun Shipping as a cadet, Captain Datar was his chief officer. And so we have him here to just share a few words and also tell us not only the good things about the naughty part, what he did on ship. Captain Datar here, please.
Good evening, everybody. Respected Chief Guest Deepak Shetty, respected dignitaries, guests, seniors, Captain Dalvi, and friends. Today is a very special day for me to be present for the publication of Samudrayan. A very proud moment where I have an opportunity to remember the days I spent with my beloved friend and my best cadet, Vaibhav. Most of the cadets at sea do not like to remember their cadetship, as it is the harshest and the toughest time in their life. But Vaibhav was an exceptional boy who always cherished his cadet days. This amazing story of Samudrayan began on one rainy day in September of 1988, when this young Vaibhav climbed the gangway of our ship Vayudut. Being his first chief officer, I was partly responsible for his initiation to sea career. Vaibhav was very modest, shy, and a skinny young boy whose childhood was mostly associated with typical middle-class culture of Datar during Pula Deshpande and Vapu Kale. His world was very simple and straightforward. Though he hailed from a very well-to-do family, his feet were firmly on the ground. When Vayudut came to Mumbai for the first time, I had an opportunity to meet Vaibhav's parents. After talking to them, I realized why this boy was so determined and well-disciplined. Actually, at that time, Appa Dalvi, Vaibhav's father, was holding a very high post in Maharashtra government. But because of his modesty and simplicity, I never realized who he was and felt very comfortable while talking to him. It was like a normal parent-teacher interaction, and there wasn't the slightest air in his manners. In fact, I came to know about Appa's job profile after a few days through a colleague of mine, and I was surprised. That is when I realized why Vaibhav was so down to earth. Appa Dalvi never used his Mantralaya connection or tried to influence his son's careers. What probably he did was to inculcate best moral values in them, and that is why I think both his sons, Vaibhav and Vivek, are so successful in their respective fields. Once Vaibhav had told me that he was on the ship because of his own choice, and there was no turning back even if he had to face any difficulty. This was his determination, and he truly pursued his vocation with full dedication and passion. Now when I think what was so special about Vaibhav, yes, he was a very special person in my life. He was my first and the last best cadet. In last 37 years of my sea career, I did not meet a second Vaibhav. On Vayudut, I used to feel very responsible for him. In fact, he was like a firstborn to me. I used to own Vaibhav and he was my first movable property. Looking at his eyes, I always used to see that burning desire for knowledge, and I was the chosen provider. Since he was a direct cadet and without any pre-sea training, I wanted him to learn everything within short span of time. Most of the time, I used to end up overburdening him with studies. Vaibhav used to take it coolly, including the punishments associated with minor mistakes. In fact, I never cared about the emotional stress he might have gone through because I wanted him to be the best navigating officer and pass his second mate's exam in first attempt. As he was like my younger brother, I also used to do a lot of moral policing on him and never allowed him to indulge in any undesirable activities. As a result of all this harassment, in the first few months itself, Vaibhav became a very tough, not only physically but mentally too. To my surprise, he could calculate ship's position accurately by solving my morning and evening star sights in 15 minutes by using log tables only. Let me remind you, in those days, using scientific calculators were not no-no for cadets. Vaibhav was really amazing. All this he achieved by studying at night during his rest hours. After 6 months on board, he started foxing me with his knowledge of navigation rules, because by then he had managed to learn the whole RR book by heart. True to my belief and desire, Vaibhav cleared all his exams in shortest time and passed his master's exam at a very young age. Till couple of years back, I was not aware of his literary acumen. I still don't know from where he used to get time and energy to write letters to his friends and family, collection of which is the part of Samudrayan today. All seafarers present here will know how difficult it was to run a chemical tanker carrying multiple parcels without availability of sophisticated equipments. Me and Vaibhav, we both used to be involved in regular tank cleaning for days together. We were the only two laborers used to slog day and night to complete the task at hand. Vaibhav was so dedicated that after a few months on board, he could remember even in his sleep every valve and drain plug on the cargo pipelines of that ship.
I can draw it still.
Yeah. Actually, I harassed him, I harassed him too much. Many times Vaibhav used to get cramps, maybe because of working in hot atmosphere of the cargo tanks for a long period of times, or sometimes because of loss of sleep, but Vaibhav never complained. I am not sure what part of intelligence plays in one's career, but one thing is sure, that there is no substitute for hard work at sea. And I witnessed this firsthand while sailing with Vaibhav. He had gathered tremendous working knowledge in his first few months by sheer hard work. There were many occasions that we both used to go ashore together. During one such outing at Singapore, Vaibhav was lost in crowd and did not return to the boat station in time. That day, first time, I was truly shaken up. And for a moment, I thought Vaibhav had deserted the ship because of the harsh treatment meted out to him by me. So I started praying and went back looking for him. Just then, my prayers were heard and I could see Vaibhav running towards the boat jetty. From that day till I signed off, I never troubled Vaibhav again, and probably Vaibhav also never noticed the change in me. It was like discovering my lost brother. After 6 months on board, slowly our relation changed from teacher-disciple to friends, and we both developed mutual respect for each other. I started relying more and more on Vaibhav for every job he was successful in, and he was successful in gaining my trust. Finally, in April 1989, I signed off from Vaidut, while Vaibhav sailed on the same ship for next 10 months. Though I signed off from Vaidut, I could never forget this amazing boy who was always ready for hard work and had a systematic approach while tackling any problem at hand. I always thought that one day he is going to make it very big. After passing his second mate's exam, Vaibhav left foreign shipping for more experience and served with V-ships at various levels, first on board ships and then ashore. Over the period of last decade, I kept on tracking his progress through our mutual friends. But actually Facebook brought us once again together. Today, after 28 years, when I see Vaibhav serving as a director of V-ship, I feel very proud of his achievements. It is his modesty to show respect to a person like me who harassed him beyond limit. I don't know what gave him, but my little efforts may have helped in shaping his career. Today I feel very satisfied to see his progress and take pleasure of boasting about him in my family and friends. Now something about Samudrayan. This book will serve as a leading light and encouragement to all those young boys from rural Maharashtra who seek adventurous life and want to join sea but have no access to vocational guidance. Though this book provides lot of information about Merchant Navy, it is not an information brochure but a new experiment in Marathi literature. With Samudrayan as his first adventure, we can say Vaibhav has truly arrived on Marathi literature scene. This must be the first attempt to write a memoir by any Indian sailor about his sea career through a collection of letters. I wish Vaibhav many more literary achievements and best luck for his future shipping career. Actually, I am a serving master and not used to talk in front of so many dignitaries and guests. So thank you for patiently listening to me. I once again thank Captain Vaibhav Dalvi for inviting me for this occasion and giving me an opportunity to express myself in front of this wonderful gathering of friends. With those words, I conclude my speech. Thank you.